All right, you guys, Taco Tuesday. Welcome to Taco Tuesday. It is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. I know it was a little rocky earlier today, but we all survived, right? And almost nothing has sold out, which is pretty amazing. So that means you guys can keep selling R2D2. Tonight, we're going to do a panel tonight. We're going to do something a little different and do a panel tonight. And I've got 4 rock stars who are really, really doing well with the Join promotion this month. And so I thought, you guys told me you wanted to hear how to maximize the Join promotion. So I thought instead of hearing from me, it would be better for you to hear from others who are walking the walk and talking the talk and who have had more success, quite honestly, than I've had so far this month with it. So I have four amazing people who are going to be on our panel today. And I'm actually going to try, I think this would work. Let's see if we can do this. You guys will hate me for doing this, just so you know. Maybe this will work. Spotlight. I thought I could spotlight more than one person. Let's see if I can get it to work. Add spotlight. Yes, I can. Hold on. Add spotlight. This is going to be so great, you guys. I don't even ever have to be in the spotlight. Add spotlight. Awesome. Okay. Hey, Alex, is Megan jumping on? Because I didn't look to see.
I think she is, but she's running late.
Okay. Then we'll.
I'm here.
Hey. Are you? Then let me find you and we'll spotlight you too.
Oh, God.
It'll be great. I just have to find you.
Oh, yes. I love being spotlighted.
I know. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just ask a bunch of questions. You know what? Can somebody find her and spotlight her? Because I totally can't find her. I'm looking still. You might get off the hook of being. Oh, there you are. Okay. Add spotlight. Okay, perfect. All right. So I've got a bunch of questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question, or I'm going to ask a question. If you want to jump in and answer that question in just a minute or two, do a quick introduction the first time you jump in and introduce yourself, and then answer the question. And then if someone else wants to jump on, we'll take a few answers for each question if you guys have answers for them, and then we'll go to the next question. So my first question is pretty general. I want to know, how have you rock stars taken advantage of the May Join special? Because you all have definitely taken advantage of it. Who wants to answer that? Let's not all jump at once.
I'll start.
Awesome.
My name is Brian Schaefer, and I joined Cincy September 1st of 2020. So I haven't been with it too awful long, but in the time that I've joined, I've just like loved it. And actually I wanted to put a little note in there, is I joined for the discount. So like I had no intentions whatsoever of selling it. So anytime somebody tells me that, I'm like, yeah, well, I don't tell them that, but I know that's just can be changed. So far with the Join kit, so what I do is I keep a list of people who tell me maybe or not right now. I don't want to join right now. So I just kind of keep a running list of that. So what I've done is I have messaged the people who have told me maybe in the past or not right now, and I've been running down that list and letting them know about the special. I've had some people jump on it because of the price. And then also, I don't know if anybody knows about Visly, and a lot of times we think of Visly as the one that we use for Facebook, like an automatic posting website, but it also has texting campaigns. So I have a texting campaign and I have people on that. And so I sent out an automated text to everybody to let them also know about the Join special as well.
And just to ask, so I use Project Broadcast for my texting, but I use Visly for Facebook. You haven't had any issues with it for texting? It works pretty flawlessly? Awesome.
No, it's been working for me.
Love it. Anyone else want to jump in?
I guess I can jump in real quick. I guess
are you?
for me,
Who
can
are
you
you?
hear me?
Yeah, but who
Huh?
are you?
Who are am I?
Who are
I don't even
you?
know who I- Some days I don't even know who I am. Okay, so I am Megan Anderson, and I have the Smelly Lion with my husband Alex, who of course is the one that is more loud than me. He's usually one talking to you guys and not me. So for us, it was crazy because within the first 24 hours, we had 5 people contact us. And the only thing we did was post the join special. Now, let's see, I think 3 of these people we have talked to prior about joining, only because 2 of them reached out to me to see what it would be like to join. And then one of them was spending so much money. I was like, if you kind of did join, you could save some money. And then the other 2, completely off of our radar. We had no clue that they were ever even thinking about joining, and they joined. And I think, and so in my mind, I am still trying to figure out what did I do to have these people just reach out and join. And I think it's because I very much post my real life constantly. So like my son plays travel baseball, right? And so I am, hold on, somebody was trying to call me, sorry. So my son plays travel baseball. And so I am constantly working while I am at the ballpark. So there.
Now you're totally muted.
I'll pick up from her with her.
Okay.
Um,
Go ahead.
she basically, Megan posts real life. When she's at the ballpark, she'll post it. When she's in carpool line, she posts that she's in carpool. And that was one of the things that really took off was basically not carpool karaoke, but just carpool real talk. She would not only talk about our personal lives and what was going on with that to kind of keep people posted, because we have had a hell of a year, but also, and we've been upfront with our customers about what our lives have been like over the last year, but also, just telling them what's going on in Cincy world too. Just trying to merge the 2 lives together, our business and, our personal lives together to show that we do this wherever we want to do it. And it's not as hard as what a lot of people think. It's hard work. Working your business is hard, but it's not as hard as what a lot of people think it is to have a side hustle, or if you want to make it into a full-time job.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome. That's awesome. Anyone else want to jump on that?
I'll jump in. My name is Myra. I've been with Sensi since April of 2011. Is it 11? Yeah, 11, because it's been 10 years already.
Yep.
When I joined, I had no intentions of being here and doing nothing. I didn't plan on having a team. My first recruit, I actually told her she needed to go find somebody else. Like, it was a hot mess. So the way that it has always worked for me is being consistent within like social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook. And I'm always engaging with people. And as a matter of fact, one of the girls that joined, I have no idea who she is. She reached out to me. She goes, I want to join under you because I love the way that you engage on Instagram. Like the way that, you share, like, and she doesn't follow me on Facebook, so she wouldn't know, like, but on Instagram, I'm always sharing. I'm always doing something, I'm always at the beach. So I guess that attracted her to her, like, too, the fact that I can, like Alex said, I can work my business from wherever I'm at. I go sit at Laguna Beach, I'm messing around with my friends, but at the same time, my phone's there. So if I have to attend to something, I can from wherever I go. So I guess just promoting, sharing, and not only just posting a flyer, but sharing why, like, why do you want to do what I do? Why is it so fun? So I think that so far it's worked for me. And one of my friends actually jumped on board, which I didn't even know that she wanted to be part of it. So that's cool, because I've known her for a long time. So I can do that with a close friend. So, and then the other ones, one of them's a good customer, which I'm like, all right. And then the other one, I really don't know either. So yeah.
Awesome. Angela, you want to finish it out, or you want to pass on this one? You're muted.
Okay, got it. Angela Stokes. I've started last May. I'm a superstar consultant, and I have a total, before the promotion, I had a total download of 27, and now we're at 38. So I'm like super excited about that.
That's awesome.
The very first day the promotion started, I took a picture of me jumping in the air. It was like, I'm so excited about this promotion, and just talked about how much I love this company and what it's done for me. And I had 2 people join that day that I really wasn't expecting. It was a super, awesome surprise. And then ever since then, I've just been, I usually don't message people just to join, but I've been messaging close friends who I think might, benefit from $20. And I just want to tell everybody. And I've also been messaging people who have reached out to me, and been interested over the year. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, just kind of sharing it like crazy and reaching out to people.
So that's awesome. And those are huge jumps in numbers since the first, by the way. That's amazing. So let me ask you this. So you guys are all doing it different ways. Like Megan and Alex, people came to you. Brian, you viz lead out to what you've been sharing, but you also did a text campaign out, right? Myra, yours is social. Like Angela, you're a combination of those, right? So do you think it's important that you reach out one-on-one to these people specifically, or do you think a broad campaign is enough and posting? Like, are there people that you think you need to, as the month goes on, you need to say, hey, I know we talked about this, but I really think you ought to think about it again? Or will you just let will you continue to do the posting and the general text campaigns and that kind of thing?
Sorry, did you want to go, Megan?
I think it needs to be a combination of both. What about you? I mean,
Well, I always keep a log of who I speak to, whether, this joint special, just broad, I always keep a log. But I make it a point that my conversations with each person are unique and different. And when I do reach out to them, like I made that post about if for $20 you could have all this, I didn't just message them and like blasted this copy and paste message. It was like, hey, how are you? And I had a conversation with them. And then within that conversation, I threw in like, okay, so here's the deal. Here's about my post. But each conversation that I had with each individual, aside from the ones that joined, they were unique, because I don't want them to think that I just want them to join and that's it. Like, I want them to know, like, I care, like, how's your day or whatever, and have that conversation before I even go into, hey, so you want to join my team? Because I think that's where a lot of people fail. Like, it's a copy and paste message everywhere. So it doesn't really feel like, you're really authentically or, humbly messaging, that's
It's
what
not
I
relationship building. Yeah. That makes sense.
So I think that's what's been working. And I have some people that are like, okay, I'll think about it. And like, I think, was it Brianna keeps a log? I keep a log with their names, and I will follow up with them later.
So do all 4 of you have a list of potential team members that you think would be great?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, I do too. So I was just curious if that was universal to your success.
Now, they don't think they're going to be great, but I mean, I was the same way in the beginning. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I could do this. Like, I literally thought that, the only people who could do this were stay-at-home moms that didn't have anything else to do. Don't take offense to that. That's literally what I thought. Because I came from nursing for 16 years. So I was constantly running, constantly busy.
Can I try this?
No, not yet. I was missing out on so much that, I kind of felt like the only people who could do this were people that had the time to sit and do it. And I've learned that that's the complete opposite. So that's what I'm trying to show people, is that it's not what you think it is. You can do it from anywhere.
Mama, can
so let me feed off of that question, and any of you can answer this. I think that there is, maybe stigma is not the right word, but there's an expectation that there's a stereotypical person. Like if you've read any of the Mary Christensen books, she talks about like the 10 people who would make the best consultants in a direct selling company. And that's really not the case anymore. Like anyone can have success with this. And we have people from all different walks of life. So if you know any of the people that have joined under you, would you share kind of what their backgrounds are? Because like I know, and I'll just share what Alex told me. Alex has got someone who she's a prior combat, right, Alex? Yeah. So, and she's married to one of Alex's battle buddies from combat,
And
right?
she's still actually active. So she's still in the military. She's got four kids. Her husband's deployed. She still works full time. So yeah.
Yeah, I know like Debbie Pitts Palmer recruits a lot of physicians, actually, a lot of doctors and dentists. And you wouldn't think that's someone who would necessarily want to join a direct selling company, but all kinds of people, you know, have success in direct selling companies. My friend Jen Ardette, that's kind of one of her premises is find people that are successful, because successful people will have success. But we run the whole gamut. I mean, I was a kidnapper. I didn't want anything out of this business but the kit. And it's turned out pretty well for me so far. So what does anyone else want to share, you know, any of those people that have joined? Because I know you've had a number of them when you combine them up. Like what's their background? Because I would bet you all have different people with different backgrounds. Do you
Oh
know?
yeah, my people are very much from different backgrounds. But I think what I try to tell people is, okay, number one, I always thought Cincy would be a very competitive, cutthroat thing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think it would be a let's all work together, let's share ideas, let's get on these Zooms and talk to each other, let's figure out, you know, let's find out about each other's lives. Like, and so it is a real community. And a lot of people that you know, sometimes people in this day and age, they just need community. They just need people. And I look forward to getting on these Zooms every single week and seeing my people.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes that might be all I have to tell them is, you know what, there is a place for everyone. And no matter what, no matter if you are at the bottom or if you are at the top, you're still treated the same way.
Yeah.
And that's what I make sure that they all know.
You're squishing me.
And that's super true. There is a spot for everyone. You know, about 20% of the people that join will be business builders, but there's a spot and an incredibly important spot for everyone in our community. It doesn't matter whether you're a hobbyist or whether you're a kidnapper like I was. It doesn't matter. There is still a spot, and you add a lot of value to the company. And so I think that's really important. Does anyone else have any experience with the people that have joined that wants to share kind of maybe quickly what their background is? Or
I can think of some of my teammates who, and then also myself, we actually had experience with other direct sales companies before. And I think we kind of felt like we were not successful with those. So then we're not going to be successful with this. I know that like I said, I'd never joined to sell because I thought, well, I didn't really, it's not that I wasn't necessarily successful with my the other company that I tried to sell with. It was more like I wasn't confident with it. So I just let it go. But whenever I got into Cincy, it's like it built my confidence. And so then I got going, you know, with it. But some of my teammates, I can think that they've also had experience with other direct sales companies as well. And some were successful, some were not as successful. And then, you know, whenever I'm talking to them about joining Cincy, you know, they kind of have this idea that this one didn't work, so then this is probably not going to work either. But it hasn't been like that at all. They're rock stars. They're like flourishing in Cincy, and I'm so proud of them. And, you know, just kind of, you know, I guess when people come with the previous thoughts that it's not going to work because this hasn't worked, it's two totally different companies, two totally different approaches. So, you know, it's different.
yeah, absolutely. So how do you get them out of that mindset once? So you've got all of these people that have joined. I'm gonna ask you two different questions, and any of you can jump in. You've got all of these people that have joined under you, right? And so having a large number of people that join within a couple days can be a little stressful from a sponsoring perspective. So number one, my first question is, how do you help them launch their business right away? How do you help them get going? And especially if you're dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them at once. I know Alex and Megan shared last night on our Leaders Lounge that they actually have them in a group message together. And so they're training them collectively, right? So how do you do that is number one. And then number two is when they've got that seed of doubt that they can't be successful for whatever reason, how do you shift their mindset? How do you move them past that? Let's not all jump at once.
I think training's just like recruiting. I mean, each person, I know I talked about that group message, but each person you have to, we're all different. And so I know I got a text message from Amy, the one that we talked about. And she was like, there's a lot going on. I have no idea what I'm doing. And she is a lot like I am. I need to know what's going on. How do I do it? This is the process. Like she has to have a process. So she's going to be very different from the next person.
That are like me, who are like, everything's going to be okay. We're going to figure it out. Yep. Like Alex and I definitely balance our consultants out for sure.
Yeah, because I'm OCD and processes, and Megan's the laid back one. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely learning the people, and it does help when they are previous customers or people that so you can kind of learn their style, because we all have our own individual styles, and that comes with anything in life. But learning your learning style is huge. And if you can't figure out what that person's learning style, or if they can't tell you what it is, it's not that people are untrainable until you figure out what their learning style is.
Yeah.
So I think that's just
it's just an individual approach. Yeah, for sure. So Angela, I'm going to put you on the spot. So you've got 3 that have joined. When I last ran the report, maybe you have more sense than I don't know, but how are you going to get them going?
I just communicate with them a lot. Up to them how we launch their business, and it's like they want to do a launch party. I tell them I can do it with them. Yep. Because I know that when you first start a business like this, it is scary, especially if you've never done anything like this before. So I just want them to feel like I am there 100% beside them, and just helping them along every step of the way. And I try to remember all the important things to tell them, just to get started. And just pretty much just being there, letting them kind of make the decisions, but just help them along the way. And
you're going to mentor them as they want, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. I know Myra's an Instagram girl. What about the rest of you? What's your social media platform of choice? Or do you have one?
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.
The only thing we really use is Facebook. I do need to branch out more. And it's like I already have an Instagram set up, but I don't use it as much as I should.
Oh man, I post. I like, you're Angela. You're under Chelsea, so she posts 40 stories a day, and I'm like, you might get 1 a week. So, are you guys posting in your newsfeed? Are you posting stories? Are you doing reels? What are you doing?
I do Facebook newsfeed and stories. Like I have an Instagram, but I'm so bad about posting on that. And I tell myself all the time that I need to, like she said, start branching out, because I know there's so many more ways to get out there. But I just stick to Facebook all the time.
You guys make me feel so much better about my lack of Instagram. That's awesome.
Well, I have noticed that the amount of people that will view your news feed versus the amount of people that will view your story is completely different.
Yeah.
The people who view your stories is almost double.
Yeah.
So I definitely make sure to share everything to a story, no matter what it is.
I saw somebody in the chat post about how they word vomit every time, I guess, when they get on. And word vomiting isn't a bad thing, because you got a lot of information out. I word vomit every time I get on for anything, whether it's like talking at work in front of a bunch of people, I word vomit, and sometimes it has gotten me in trouble. However, 90% of the time, I get everything that's on my mind out, and I get into that whole, like, I don't really care what I sound or look like. Yeah, so Kelly, that was you. You just get past it, to be totally honest. Megan hated doing lives and all that stuff, but I do a lot of lives. Abby and I will go live. You can see her sleeping right now. If it's anything to do with Cincy and the queen from across the pond and her Aunt Karen, or like she hears Amy's name, like there's certain names that when she hears it, her little ears kind of perk up. So that's why she's in that room with Megan right now. But also just with Cincy in general, like I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm not gonna say like, I've used our whole entire family because we do our business as a family. But I've used our entire family in our marketing to post everywhere that I possibly can, because I want people to understand that like our family's fully into Scentsy. But at the same time to show how much they actually love it. So we do lives, we do we post on our timelines. I post on our business page, VIP page, my profile, and then Megan will share the stuff that I post on her profile as well. So we're getting 4 different algorithms out there. And that's the key thing, is when you are posting, is to making sure that your algorithm is staying current.
Yeah, for sure.
I just had word vomit right there. See, it wasn't that bad.
Karen, can I go back a question?
Yeah, you can go back to any question you want.
To the question about how we help our new consultants.
Yeah.
So whenever I first started and I had just a few people, it's easier to work with just a few people at a time, and you can give them all your attention. But then as time has gone on, I get more consultants to help at one time. And that's going to happen for everybody. You're going to get to the point where you're like, holy moly, there's a lot going on, and I have a job, and I'm a mom, and I'm a wife, and I'm trying to do all these things. And I want to be able to do it all. So I just saw an idea. Johanna Luna shared an idea. And she did a Google Sites.
Yes, she did. Yep.
So I like latched onto that, and I made a Google Sites. It is so neat. So like I was able to put a lot of the basic information that they need to know at the beginning, things that I would be messaging them, frantically trying to get all this information to them at the beginning. It's nice and neat, and it looks pretty, and so it's on my Google Site. So I send them that, and it has all of the beginning things, because I mean, I know for me, Workstation was hard to navigate when I first started. Now I know how to do it, but when I first started, it seemed hard to navigate, to know where everything was, a little overwhelming. So this kind of, the Google Sites like lays out, how do you start? Let's do your launch party. It kind of lays out how they get on their workstation. I have some YouTube videos on there where it walks them through how to place an order, how to close, a party. It walks them through all of those things that a new consultant is doesn't exactly know how to do. So it's right there as a reference for them to go through and find everything, instead of me having to type it all out like I was doing before. So,
and they can go back to it over and over again at their convenience when they need it. So for those of you guys who don't know what a Google site is, it's like a website. And it's free. It's a Google offers it, and it's free. And you can have, multiple tabs at the top, multiple pages you go to. Johanna Luna, and I'm trying to think, there have been a number of them who have put them together. We talked about it during our SSD breakouts, actually. And it's a fantastic idea. I love it. For the sake of time, I've got 2 more questions I wanted to ask. If 2 of you will take one and 2 take the other. First of all, we've got people who have just joined. They've just joined in the past, say, 4 days. Why should they build a team? Why should they take advantage and share the $20 join special? Do 2 of you want to take that one?
My favorite part of this business has become my team. I just love being surrounded by them. We build each other up. We keep each other motivated. There are just so many amazing reasons to build a team. It makes this so much more fun, and just talking to them every day and getting new ideas, and you know, we just feed off of each other, and it's just amazing. I absolutely love it.
So let me ask you, do you think it's ever too early to start building a team?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
I would agree. Anyone else want to touch that question?
Okay.
I'll answer.
Do you want to go?
You know, we like jumped in at the same time. I'm Kelly Snoke. I started last May 2020, and I hopped on the $20 join special, and I signed my first team member within my first week of being a consultant. So it is never, ever, ever too early to build a team, and I've just been building ever since. So
I think it's super fun to grow with someone too, to grow with someone in your business. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know everything. It's okay to say, I don't know, let's find out. There's nothing wrong with that at all, right? Okay, my next question was, what is one piece of advice you would give to someone who hasn't built a team but really wants to, and they're just kind of hesitant or nervous or afraid to reach out to people or afraid they're going to word vomit or whatever? What's one piece of advice you would give to someone who hasn't built a team but wants to?
I'll answer that. I was like that. I was like, I'm not going to build a team. I can't ask people to do that. That's not me. I can't do that. But I saw a video, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but I always think of it about the going through McDonald's, and whenever they ask you, do you want fries with that? And you say, no, you're not hurting their feelings. You're still going to return next time and get more McDonald's, because who's not going to go get McDonald's? So I think of that. I'm like, I'm just going to share this opportunity with them. And at first I thought, if I ask somebody to join my team and they don't want to, they won't buy from me again, because they're going to be offended that I would have done that. And that wasn't the case at all. They didn't get offended. Everything's fine. They continue to, purchase. It's not going to, if you don't ask, you are definitely going to hear no. If you don't ask, you're not going to get anybody on your team. But you have to be able to present the opportunity to them for them to be able to think about it. And how many times have I heard no, and then later I have people on my team that told me no, at once or sometimes twice, and then later on they're like, wait a second, I think I kind of do want to do that, or I do want to get paid on my orders, and then they end up being rock stars. So no doesn't always mean no. Don't be afraid of it, because I know I definitely was afraid of it, but you never know.
Anybody else want to take that?
So I always tell my girls that no never kills anybody. So like if they say no, it like Brianne said, it doesn't mean no forever. It's just probably not right now. To log all their conversations as well too. But I think like making them feel confident, like they have some sort of backup, like it's never too early to recruit. And I always tell them, it doesn't matter if you've been a week, a month, or whatever, like you always got that backup of like me and like the rest of the team to help you and to give you that guidance. So, and I think that's the culture that we have, that none of us are alone. None of us are doing this. Like we are a team, and we're a team, and that culture was brought for a reason. So I think just building that confidence in them, and that they can do it. And even if they don't have all the answers, I don't either, but together we can, get them there and help that person that they sign up to be successful as well.
I love it. Anyone else want to jump on that?
I told my people I didn't believe in myself either. In the beginning, definitely no way. I said this would never work.
We didn't want to.
I didn't believe in myself.
We hurt ourselves too, because we didn't want a team. I mean, we wanted to just focus on ourselves, to be totally honest. And we realized,
like the first 6
later
to 8
on.
months?
Yeah, I mean, we had a few people that joined, but we really didn't reach out to people, and in the end it hurt us. We still see like, oh, that person would have been an awesome consultant, or they went to other people, to be honest. So don't be afraid to ask people. Don't be afraid to give information to people, and don't underestimate the people that you would never think. And I think that's a big thing. We all come from different walks of life. Don't ever underestimate the person that you think could never do it, because that could be the best person that you have on your team. because I know my wife didn't think she could do it. And like, Jocelyn,
Sure didn't.
Nope.
I'm just,
Sometimes I still don't even feel like I'm doing it. I still don't even feel like it's real. I'm 2 years in and I'm still here trying to figure out how did I get here?
Hard work and consistency, I would say. Angela, you want to tag on that? Do you have something you want to add?
I was just gonna say, don't, because I know when I first, started building a team, I was like, I need to be this, amazing leader right away. Don't put so much pressure on yourself, because it's just like everything else, you're gonna learn as you go. And don't think that you have to be this amazing grand leader right at the beginning, because you'll get there.
Well, and the reality is, if we're honest, you don't have to be this amazing grand leader ever, right?
Yeah.
You just have to be you, and you have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you have to, be willing to pivot when you have to, and you have to be willing to consistently work and grow and be real and share what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what level you are in this business. We all do this. We all started certified consultant on the first of the month and have to work our way back up for the month, unless you're an essential consultant and but that's the reality of it. I remember Chuck saying it at an event pretty early in my Scentsy career. He said, you're doing them a disservice if you don't ask. It's not for you to decide if it's right for them. It's for them to decide. And if you don't ask, or you don't share, or you don't talk about, what the options are, then you're not giving them that option. And the reality is they will go somewhere else. If they're interested in joining Scentsy or buying Scentsy, like if you quit this business, they don't quit buying Scentsy, they go buy from someone else, right? So I think that's really important. I really appreciate you guys. And I know we're over on time. I'm happy to answer any questions that are in the chat. If any of you want to stay on and answer them, you're welcome to, but I know that I asked you for 20 to 30 minutes and it's been 40. So I don't want you to feel pressured that you have to stay on. I know it's a weeknight and you all have lives too. So, but thank you guys very, very much if you choose to drop off. Let me read through the chat and see if there are any questions, because I'm pretty sure there are. Let's see. And if you have questions, put them in the chat. Okay, Reba tries to be unique, but she feels awkward. Does anyone have any advice for Reba? I would say just be you. I mean, the reality is just be you.
awkward. Do
Yeah,
it.
just be you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be authentically you. That's all you can do.
Yep,
People want authenticity.
absolutely.
and sometimes they want awkward, because guess what? Other people are awkward too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Kelly said, it's overwhelming sometimes trying to remember to tell them everything. And you don't have to tell them everything, right? You can give them snippets and a little bit of information at a time. Sometimes we feel like when we're talking to someone about joining, like years ago, I would start with, oh my gosh, Heidi and Orville are the owners of this company, and they are so amazing. I get to talk to them every Monday night, and they're so wonderful, and they have this amazing family, and they have this and this. You guys, the people don't care. They just want to know what they're getting for their $20, right? Like later, they might care after they've gone to SFR in person and they've met Heidi and Orville, right? But in 3 years, I guess, because they're going to be in England, but they don't care about all that stuff. So don't feel like you have to share everything with them by any means. Another thing that kind of comes to mind is, and I've seen this floating on Facebook over and over the past probably 3 weeks, it's not a mortgage, it's not a marriage, and it's not it's not a launch. I'm totally muting. Oh, Alex is muted. Not me. Do you guys hear it? That's horrible. The feedback there. Okay. All right. It's not a marriage. It's not a mortgage. It's not a tattoo. It's not a long-term commitment. If it isn't for them, it's not a big deal. They don't have to stay. But I do ask my personal recruits, the people that joining me, I say, give it 3 to 4 months. Let me at least help you earn some money for a summer vacation, or if it's in the fall, for holiday gifts or whatever it is. Let me work with you for that amount of time. So let's put a little bit of money in your pocket, right? But it is not a long-term commitment. There is no penalty for leaving early. We will be more than happy to take care of your customers if you choose to leave, right? So I think that's important too. Sometimes people overthink what the responsibility is of signing up, actually.
Yeah, I make sure to tell my people that no matter what, you're not going to disappoint me if you decide you don't want to do it. I'm still going to be your friend. I'm still going to love you. You're not going to disappoint me. It's okay.
One more question I see. What do you guys, you have a new team member? Do you mail out something to them, or what do? Do you email them information? Is yours all verbal or through Facebook, or do you actually put something in the mail to them?
I usually send a postcard to everybody that joins. My frontline and downline, my directors will take care of their own. I do send an email with information, but if they're not directly in my frontline and downline, I do text them because I do want them to know who I am. And just in case there's a fallout somewhere, they have someone that they can contact, and that gives them the chance, okay, well, this is her number. And I know how joyful I get when somebody welcomes me to anything like that. So I know postcards, emails, and texts might seem a little bit too much to certain people, but I also remember what's behind it. Like when they get that email, that excitement, like, oh my God, like she cares, she doesn't know me, but here she is taking like 2 minutes out of her time, whatever, to welcome me. So yeah, so email for everybody, no, not for everybody, for frontline and downline. Text is going to be for people that are not in my downline, and welcome postcards for frontline and downline. So I hope that made sense, and I did not make a salad because I tend to do that.
Anybody else want to share on that?
I just usually either text or talk through Messenger with them.
Me too, Jenny.
Awesome. The only other questions I really see are about the Google site, which now everyone is totally intrigued with. So do you have a link you could share?
I'm looking for mine right now.
So one more comment in the chat is, sometimes I feel alone because my sponsor is tied up with other things. So I think that's where your team page is a great resource. You can ask questions there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's usually someone up and someone willing to help and answer. Don't ever be afraid to do that. Also, there's so much information on the workstation in the training center. We do trainings every Tuesday. We do work at Wednesday every week, which is an hour that you can come. You work while we work. We idea share. It's not formal. It's not a training. But there's so many different ways you can add community in this business and get some support and help. So thank you. So she put the link in the chat. So go grab it.
They can check out.
It's yours, right?
Yes.
So go grab it from the chat before we hang up in 2 minutes, because then you will lose it. Awesome. So I just muted myself because I'm in my new office, and my 15-year-old just walked into the bathroom next door, and these walls are obviously very thin. So I didn't think you needed to listen to him go to the bathroom. So that's why I muted myself. If you type, Johanna Luna, Google site and YouTube, you'll find it. Yeah. Hey, Luke. You probably should see if I'm on a Zoom before you go to the bathroom. Just saying. Okay. Oh boy. All right, you guys.
Luke too.
Karen, I'm literally dying over what you just said. And you're like, hey, Luke.
Real life in this house, I'm telling you.
Mhm.
Always real life. He's really upset. He had his own bathroom in the house we moved from. Now he has this huge loft that is massive, but there's no bathroom up there. So it's a first world problem for him. So anyways, all right, you guys, thank you for joining us tonight. I really, really, really appreciate it. You can continue the conversation on our group pages. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask there. To our presenters, thanks, you guys. You guys were fantastic and amazing. If I don't have, okay, so there's only one of you that I don't have your address. Will you send me your address and by Facebook message, because I want to put something in the mail to you. So, all right. Thank you guys. Have a good night. And Work It Wednesdays tomorrow from 8 to 9 Eastern. And if you are doing our Dream Big Book Club with us, it's at 9 o'clock. We're on part 4 tomorrow night, part 4. All right. Have a good night, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.